Kick the flow, kick the flow, kick the flow, kick the flow, kick the flow.
You and I debated that a bit like we're debating this. I had a lot of fun with that one, and guess that you did too. So as far as I could see, it was referred twice. Those guys were vindicated twice, and then a week later, while talking in City Hall, the commissioner effectively apologised, and today it's being scrutinised again. So it gives confidence not that when scrutinising themselves that they will come out with something that isn't just working at protecting themselves. Do you see what I'm saying, Ken?
100%. And what I would say to that, this would be my answer to that. First time it was investigated by warranted police officers. Second time it was investigated by warranted police officers. Third time, when it's been reviewed, is by non-police. Now, my whole answer to that, because I'm not disagreeing with this bit, is put it to another police force. So it's still police officers, because otherwise, how do you have the inside knowledge to deal with what's put in front of you if you are not a police officer?
Because I'm a human being, and the idea of taking a woman out of a car with her 18-month-old baby in the back and saying, "Give the baby to me," a complete stranger who has the baby's dad in handcuffs already. As a human being, I know it would be difficult for any mother, whatever colour, to do that. Ken?
I agree.
Don't agree. I don't want you to come on here.
No, I agree.
I look forward to you coming on. The point of you coming on is not to agree.
Yeah, no, I agree with the statement you just made. But let me just add to that.
Yes.
Let me just add to that.
Okay, yes.
The whole point I'm trying to get across is, if you are a warranted police officer, it's like a butcher doing something wrong and you get a baker to investigate it. You know, we can't have a situation where you say to me, "Well, I'm a member of public, I'm appalled by it, so I can do that." Well, do you understand legislation, Ed? No, you don't. Do you understand the police powers? No, you don't. No, I'm not discrediting you.
No, and I accept. You're absolutely right. But then accept from me that if... Because the basis of this must be to improve confidence of black people in police. Yeah, if black people got no confidence in police, they could be police from Timbuktu. It's not going to help. To get another police force on. But you're still police, Ken.
Well, oh, come on. So what you're saying, every single police force is going to collude between each other?
I'm not. No. I'm saying if people have... We've all been in situations as grown men where trust is eroded, and we have to work at building trust. Yeah. And when the trust is gone, then the trust is gone, and you don't bring it back by getting the cousin of the person that you've lost trust in to adjudicate on whether or not that person has dealt with you badly in the relationship that you have.
Yeah, no, I'll take that.
So how are we going to do it?
So, well, there's an awful lot we can do, and I alluded to some of it earlier. What I want to see, and I want this to happen as quickly as yesterday, is let's get some young, dynamic black males and females who are in the community, a lot younger than some of the people I see on IAGs and all sorts of groups, who understand society and understand what's going on and want to engage at both levels, Ed, because if they want to engage at both levels, then we can create the complete transparency, because by that I mean, let them come on a tour of duty with our cops. Let them sit in a parade room. I've no issue. I keep saying to you about transparency. I have no issue, because they will quickly start to understand, firstly, what my colleagues are up against. Secondly, what they're having to deal with when they're out there. And thirdly, they'll behave in an appropriate manner always. And that's what I want.
In terms of the 40% in recruitment and recruits coming from London, that's kind of going back to as he was then Sir Bernard Hogan-Howard days, isn't it?
Right, let me just deal with that one, because we're reinventing the wheel here. We've done this one and it didn't work because we're not getting enough black males and females applying. Forget the word BAME, let's talk about black. I want black males and females to apply in the Met. We're not getting enough. So it's all right to recruit senior officers from anywhere in the country who've never been to London, don't know anything about our communities, but when it comes to the bobby on the street, you've got to be from London. Well, I'm sorry, I don't quite go along with that one, because you'll never get 40% by 2022, no matter how hard you try. So let's just be a little bit logical here, open it up a bit further, into the home counties or wherever, let's get the numbers we need.
And in terms of the future of policing, it seems to me that, you know, you guys are having a pretty tough time. The legislation changes week by week. The longer we stay in a situation, we are lockdown 2.0, the more weary people come, and the more weary they come, the less obedient we all become. Give us a sense as to how the guys are doing, Ken.
It's a real challenge, Eddie. We're really up against it at the moment. We have higher numbers of sickness at the moment than we've ever had in relation to COVID and self-isolating, which puts a huge pressure on the rest of my colleagues who are still at work. You know, it's really challenging, but it's challenging for the whole country. I'm not going to come on here and start crying on my violin because we're all up against it. But it is hard. It is a struggle, but we'll get through it and we'll keep doing what we do, policing the communities of London.
Just one more, because there are a number of stories today, notwithstanding, you know, the fact that people were sending me videos of somebody attempting to drive their car, or it looked like anyway, car stuck in the front of a London police station down in Edmonton. But we'll let that one run its course. But today is a really important day because a man has died that very few people will be crying over. Sutcliffe had families, households to meet, but you won't be able to do anything else, Danny.
Well, Eddie, I just think, in all honesty, enough questions are now being raised about that. And, you know, whatever way happens, you know, it's very clear people are going to have more freedom than they were before. And, you know, we've got school teachers who are in exactly the same position, terrified out of their life, that after a hard term of work, flat out all the time, they're going to catch COVID in the last week and they won't have the chance to see their family, and that's what I think has been contributing to mental health stress. But on Sunday I joined a call with other London leaders where we were presented with a range of information that said it's very clear in the city we are seeing data which shows an exponential growth in the levels of COVID that requires immediate action. That was made clear, and you know, my responsibility as a leader is to think, right, I've got all of this information in front of me, what am I going to do about it? And
but it seems to me, Danny, that in a way, Claire's done the same thing as you, isn't she, at Walton Forest, and she hasn't got that letter because the option for online learning is there, and we encourage as many people as possible to take it up, is very different from don't come to school.
Yeah, and let's be absolutely clear, we said very clearly to schools that we wanted them to stay open for children of key workers and vulnerable children and provide that online offer. And the fact is that there are a number of schools, not just in London, but across the country, that have either already closed because of staff shortages or have already gone to online learning, and perhaps the government need to be more honest.
But I'm just telling you from where I am. So I'm one step removed because I've been reading about it and talking to other people about it, and this is my first minute in a while to talk to you, Danny. So I can only present it to you as I've seen it and as it has been presented to me. And the great thing about you coming on is that we can get the truth here because I'm speaking to you. It was presented as a unilateral kind of action taken and interpreted as a political movement, as opposed to we have an incredibly high rate and therefore we're going to do this and this and this.
Well, when I presented the information to parents on Sunday, it was in the context that rates were increasing rapidly. As I said, on Friday, I had 3,670 children self-isolating. By Monday, I added an additional 498 children, and that figure went further up as the day went on because we lost more people. So I think by the end of Monday, we had something like 580 people then who were additionally off. And the fact is that yesterday, when we looked at the rates of COVID in Greenwich, it was 59% higher than it was on the previous Monday. And that clearly tells us all one thing: the numbers are moving very quickly. It's very clear that we are in this period of growth and spread of the virus. And we also have to be honest and say that actually, certainly in Greenwich, those figures would suggest the virus is spreading more quickly than the London average. So
and that's